how much stress is added because we have messed up commitments. If we get our commitments right, our stress level goes way down. So, with the parable with Jesus we talked about a few weeks back with the wide road and the narrow road, why is it that so many Christians keep, wandering off back onto the wide road? Why do Christians, followers of Jesus, why do they like the wide road? Why do they choose the wide road? Number one answer is, easier is good. Easier is good. That's probably number two answer. Number one answer today, FOMO. Fear of missing out. As a Christian, it's like, well, I got to keep my options open. I mean, it's part of the reason some of you haven't signed up to do food for the memorial service on Saturday, because you got to keep your options open. Stop keeping your options open, sign up, and let us know what you're bringing. Okay. Just saying. Now that other people are kind of stepping into Deb's shoes, they're going, this is hard. Well, no, we live in a day and a time where people don't like to make commitments until the very end, right? I'm just saying, I give you all permission to make a commitment to that. All right. But we have almost an addiction to choice. It's one of the affluenza characteristics. We are so affluent. We have so many choices. We don't like to commit to anything because something better might come along. But that's also what causes us to wander off the narrow path onto the wide road. Now, back to what we were saying, it's easier on the wide road. We think it's easier. Jesus said he's easy peasy, his way of doing it, because he's carrying a light load on this broken road. But we think that having choices makes it easier, more comfortable, more convenient, and therefore we don't have to make commitments. We don't have to have any pressure in our life, because what does stress do? It's the pressure of stress that gets to us. So we're doing everything we can to keep from having another pressure. Commitment is pressure, right? Well, actually, commitment frees you up from all that other pressure because you've decided what you're going to do. We have replaced the pursuit of happiness with the pursuit of ease. Do you see the difference? Our culture has changed. We were founded on the pursuit of happiness, but now it's the pursuit of ease. Work harder, not smarter used to mean work harder, not smarter. Now it means find the easiest way to do it and do that. If you can do this without working at all, that's the smartest way. Work harder, not smarter, still includes work. All the older people are going, well, yeah, and all the younger people go, I don't get what he's saying. What is his point? Okay, how many think you should work harder, not smarter, not harder? Yeah, I think you should be as smart as you can, but keep working, right? We have translated that to mean don't work hard, just find an easy way. And that was never the point of that statement. We used to hear the phrase, be anxious about nothing from Jesus. And now we think when he's saying that, he's saying, don't be responsible for anything. Because if you do, you'll get anxious. So don't be responsible, and you can live an easy peasy life. Not what he's saying. He wants us to be responsible people. Okay. How many know that commitment is more than just words? Jesus knew this, so he told a story. And I love it's kind of like the story of the prodigal son. Not a real story. He's just making the story up, but it's so believable because this is the way, sometimes it happens. So there's a dad. He's got two sons. The older son, his dad says, hey, I need you to go out in the field and do some work. And the older son said, I will not do it. There comes a point in the life of I don't know if he's the firstborn, he's just the older son. But in a young man's life where he wants to differentiate from his dad. But how many know that firstborn and older children often have a higher level of innate responsibility? They know they have to be responsible because they were the older one and they always had to take care of the younger ones. And okay, so at first he goes, I'm not doing it. He's differentiating from his dad, not going to do it. The younger son comes along and says, I'll do it. But then he doesn't do it. Okay, so Jesus' question, and I'm going to paraphrase here a little bit, is, so who really made a commitment? If you think commitment is just making a verbal commitment, like some people when they get married, they think their commitment to marriage is that they said it when they got married and they don't have to do anything, right? No. The things you say are just supposed to be a precursor to what you do. So then, the older son who said, I'm not going to do it, in the end, he came back and did it. Why? I don't know why. Why did the younger son not do it? I don't know. Maybe something better came along? I don't know. Maybe he was already overcommitted and he just one more thing. Maybe he thought his return on investment wouldn't be as good as he wanted it to be, so he's going to go do something else with his time. Who knows? I mean, again, made up story. We don't know why anybody did anything in that story. We just know the point. The point is, the words are not as important as the action. Jesus says they got no brownie points for saying, yes, I'll do that, and making a verbal commitment. The brownie points came from what? Actually doing the will of the Father. Okay. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your actions to the Lord. Choose to travel light on this difficult path. Right? That's what we're talking about here. Commitment means you're choosing to travel Jesus' way. You're going to travel light. You're going to take his yoke. You're going to keep it simple, right? Knowing it's still a difficult path. And your plans will succeed. Make that choice, and your plans will succeed. We know this is embedded in trust. One of my favorite verses since I was young in the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. So commitment requires trust, does it not? Yes. But if you trust in the Lord, then commit to his ways. So that's the third point. If our commitments are messed up and confused, if we are overcommitted or undercommitted, those are the things you have to ask yourself. Am I overcommitted right now in my life? Am I undercommitted? Am I overwhelmed? Am I adrift? Am I out of control? I mean, again, these are the coaching questions. What is the gap in my life right now? Because honestly, we're not just shooting blind here. We know that God wants us to grow. He wants us to be in community. He wants us to be on mission, and he wants us to be caring for each other. So in any of those four areas, do you have a gap in your life? Are you not growing right now? God wants you to be growing. You know that to be true. So do something about that gap. God wants you to be in community. If you're not in community right now or don't have the level of community that you should, God, you don't have to guess. You know that's what God wants for you. He wants you to be on mission. He wants you to be caring for others. We know those things. And if any of those are gaps, those are the things that you need to give. Those are the things you need to commit to doing something about.